I guess I'll go for two in a row then, because these aren't going to be particularly long.
All right.
I watched the first. I recently watched the first of Kyoto Animation's two babies this year.
Ooh.
The first is Tamako Market, a really cutesy slice of life right up Kyoto's alley.
Why do you? I know it's a theme with you watching all these cutesy anime.
Because I can't. Unlike a lot of people, or unlike you, I can't watch 40 different episodes of action shows all at once. I need to take a breather. I need something to calm down, or something I can laugh at. Something I don't need to be staring at the screen for the entire time. Something I can multitask
Okay.
to.
Huh.
And when I'm watching something like this, something I can just laugh at, I'm pretty good with that too.
Cool.
And hey, it works. A lot of these are actually pretty funny. But more
So,
often than not, the Tamako Market is something of a calming agent. It's girls in high school living with the main character Tamako living in a fucking shopping mall.
Huh.
More along the lines of every one of the stores doubles as a house because they're all two-story.
Wow.
Kind of like the thing where a restaurant can have two stories in the back, and on top is just a bunch of bedrooms for the owners. So Tamako's family owns a mochi shop, which, if you don't know, is this sweet little dessert type candy thing, which I'm pretty sure is made out of rice. I'm not exactly sure what it is. But you can put ice cream in it. You can put meat in it. There's a whole bunch of different stuff you can do with it. It's really good. I recommend it. So her family runs a shop like that, and she lives with her father, her little sister, and her grandfather. And across the street from that is a little rival shop owned by the father's rival, mostly because they just don't like each other and they think mine stuff is better than yours, and his son, who is really in love with Tamako. So it's always fun to watch that. Aside from that, there are three other girls, all quirky and funny in their own individual ways, with one of them having some really hardcore lesbian undertones for Tamako, because, well, she is the basic equivalent of God to these people.
Nice.
In the very first episode, a talking bird that looks kind of like Kyubey, whose name is Dara Mochimatsu, or just
Hope that's not foreshadowing anything.
or Dara for short, comes into the mall because floats down from another island because, quote unquote, he's searching for the bride of his island's prince.
Okay.
Something about how people will have he's looking for a bride for the prince of the island. And he's searching all over for the perfect woman. He realizes pretty soon after getting there that everyone is naturally attracted to Tamako. Everyone likes her. She is perfect. Everyone likes her. She can stop people from fighting, etc. Although at the same time, she's kind of a ditz and not particularly smart, but she's nice and pretty funny.
That's good.
So throughout the course of 12 episodes, various characters show up and various hijinks ensue, and it's just really common because it's funny to see a nice side of people's lives. And a lot of things that I've noticed anime do is they play up the drama for a lot of things to the max. Like there was a shit ton of drama in KyoAni's last project just before this, Chunibyo. There was a shit ton of drama there. Everything was really insane with every single thing that happened. And this is focused on the little things in life, like finding out for the first time that you have a crush on someone, finding out that, oh, this person likes me, I don't know what exactly I'm supposed to do. And it's not played up all dramatic. It's played really sweet and really cute, and it's nice like that, because after a while I kind of hate seeing, oh my god, she likes me? Oh my god, he loves me? I hate seeing that after a while because it's so annoying. I like this because it's done really subtly, and that's nice. It focuses on the little things in life. And it brings forth a sense of nostalgia towards the viewer's life, while at the same time attempting to have a plot. Halfway through, an emissary from that same island that I mentioned before appears in the form of another little girl, because 6 months have passed and the bird has not returned alone or with a girl to be the prince's bride. So she goes there because she's pissed that he hasn't returned. and she's supposed to bring her back. Only problem is that she meets Tamako also, and then she realizes, oh, this girl is perfect. Come back with us. Come back with us. And after a while of them not doing anything, the prince there comes himself. He meets the girl. He shows how he's also incredibly charming and nice, and people gravitate towards him. And Tamako herself just goes insane at the end when she realizes, I'm supposed to get married to this guy I don't know or I've never met.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because in the middle of this calming agent of an anime, she's having something of an existential crisis.
Really?
Yeah, and then it's nice, it's fun, it looks great, it has some great music, but the one problem I have with that is its lackluster ending. Because the whole plot is that the perfect bride for this island's prince is the person with this mole or or symbol or birthmark or something on the neck. Tamako has one, but it's a mole on the cheek, I think. And so Tamako has it, and so they automatically assume it's her. And then he goes there, and everyone thinks, oh, he's just going to take her. And so the guy that loves her gets all confrontational, and he's polite, and he actually is really funny how he talks him out of beating him up by being polite and charming. And when he goes up and actually spends time with her, even though he really likes her, he says, because he knows that she doesn't want to leave, that this isn't her. We'll keep looking. We're leaving. Bye. And this happens in the last 20 minutes. So everything that they were kind of building up to somewhat falls flat. It has some really nice build-up, and it's really fun. I recommend it to anyone, even you. But it has something of a fall flat ending.
How many episodes is this, by the way?
12, 13. But recently it was announced, like 2 weeks ago, that a movie has been greenlit for a spring season called Tamako Love Story, which is going to be a lot more serious, apparently. And I don't know if it's going to be about the same guy or someone else, or about the actual guy that lives across the street from her that's in love with her, but it's about love, and apparently it's going to be serious because the poster has her in a field of flowers looking really depressed.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's pretty good. Give it a 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. It's really good. It looks great. It has some excellent music. Good. Traditional KyoAni fare. It's cute. It's great. It sounds good. If I had to guess, I'd say it's going to get a dub. Maybe by spring.
Cool. Yeah, I'll probably check out the dub when it comes out if you recommend it that highly.
8 out of 10. Buy it when it comes out, but in the meantime, stream it on Hulu.
Yeah, sweet.
And the next one I'm going to go into, which we actually are planning a Let's Watch of, but my sister was with me on Thanksgiving weekend, and she saw that I had it, so she made me watch it with her immediately. Pokemon Origins.
Oh, yeah. That was really back at Thanksgiving? Damn.
Yeah, that was when I first gave it to you also.
Oh, yeah, true.
So, Pokemon Origins, for all 4 of you who haven't seen it, is a 4-episode OVA that is a basic retelling of Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. And I say those instead of the original Red and Green because it takes some concepts directly from Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Doesn't it also use the Mega Charizard X in the series?
Yes, but it's more of a marketing gimmick for Pokemon X and Y.
Well, Pokemon movies are notorious for that anyway. This comes from the guy who's just marathoned all of them.
This isn't a movie, it's an OVA.
Yeah, close enough.
It's multiple episodes.
Yeah.
But so, it's a retelling of Fire Red and Leaf Green. And I mentioned those specifically because it uses the Red's design in Fire Red, not the original one where he looks like a really, really demorphed Ash.
Yeah, tell me about it. The new design for Red in Fire Red is so good.
Yep, or for more of you who are probably to know what it is, Pokemon trainer design from Smash Brothers.
Yeah, basically.
So it's about that. It's a really, really short speed through of the games. The first episode covers Red getting a Charmander, which ironically has a really funny gimmick because they say why he picked Charmander, and he goes on this little speech about how I chose Charmander because it's red and my dad named me Red so I would have a red fiery passion or something.
Okay.
which is funny because we've never seen this dad he speaks of.
Yeah. That's normal in the Great Mysteries of all Pokemon.
Also, one thing I'm going to mention in advance, the dub of this is excellent because it's done in LA by Viz instead of the company that does it normally. So, for example,
yeah.
Bryce Papenbrook is red, Lucian Dodge is green, fucking Kyle Hebert is oak.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Instant props.
And it's really funny because when Green is saying, I'm going to pick Squirtle, although he's blue in the American version because, well, blue.
Dumb.
Oak does something of a joke where he says, "Are you gonna pick Squirtle because of its blue color?" And he goes, I wouldn't pick it for something as stupid as that. I'd pick it because it's better than Charmander." Like flat out like a dick.
Yeah.
So they played up Green's dickishness to 11 here, like it's supposed to be.
Thank God. That's how it's supposed to be.
The one thing I don't like about how it does, though, is that this assumes that Red is a complete moron and doesn't know anything about anything. He doesn't know how to catch a Pokemon. He doesn't know that you can't catch someone else's Pokemon. He doesn't know that you can switch out in battle or how the Pokedex works or anything. So he's learning.
Assuming you are a 10-year-old literally playing this for the first time.
Basically, yeah, you don't know how to do anything. It's kind of annoying in that way because it's 2013. Play it like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
But what I like, though, is on the other hand is, while they skip through a lot of stuff, they play up the important moments. Like, the highlight of this episode is fuck me, god damn it, Red battling Brock. And Brock mentoring Red in the battle. Brock uses two Pokemon.
Really?
He uses a Geodude and an Onix, and he tells him what he's supposed to do, that you can switch out, that you need to use status moves, etc., things like that. Also,
cool.
Here's the kicker. Brock is played by Bosch.
Wow.
And Bosch does his Lelouch voice.
Oh my god, that is amazing. I would not have expected Brock to be voiced by Bosch of all people.
I know, it's really funny.
That's sick.
And he's not a pervert. He's actually smart.
Oh damn.
He's actually the only gym leader that might even matter.
Huh. Nice.
So that's the first episode.
No one likes
battle, and they get really intense. And I'm still baffled that they have a screen built into the wall that shows health bars and how many Pokemon you have. And it just baffles me that they actually have a health bar.
Yeah, that's a little odd.
And they mention in episode 3 or 4 that its HP is next to 0. It's HP. God.
Well, we're staying true to our sources, but that's just a little weird.
Episode 2 skips directly after he beats Brock to Lavender Town. And what I like about this
cool.
and how they do it is just like you remember how in Fire Red and Leaf Green, every time you started up the game, it did a little recap of all the things you've done before on your last save.
Yeah.
It does that by saying, I beat this chick, I got that gym badge, I caught this Pokemon,
cool.
etc. And it does that in like 30 seconds. So it does that the same way that Fire Red and Leaf Green did, and that's pretty cool. But so they go to Lavender Town, and the entire episode is about Lavender Town, and it's really funny because they even mention White Hand.
Oh wow, they do?
Yes.
Nice.
So they do Cubone and Marowak and all that shit, and they show Mr. Fuji, and I'm gonna be honest, this is actually the least interesting episode.
Seriously? Even though it's Lavender Town?
Yeah.
And this is where Crazy Pasta originates from?
They don't really do much with it. It's just, oh no, they kidnapped Mr. Fuji. Let's go save him.
Aw, man.
And then it's funny enough, Green shows up there in the tower, and he sees the Marowak ghost, and he gets scared out of his fucking mind, and he runs away crying.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
But what I like and dislike at the same time is that they do some things out of order and non-canonly. So they'll say, like, for example, that some of the guys up there in the top floors of the Pokemon Tower already have the Silph Scope. That's how they were able to get up there, so that way you don't have to waste time going to Saffron.
Huh.
One of the guys has it, you beat him, and then you just take it from him.
Sweet.
So I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but it's interesting at least. And they
It
battle.
cuts out a bit of the bullshit that was in the original game anyway.
Yep. So you battle it, and that happens, and it's the least interesting episode. But at the end of the episode, Mr. Fuji gives Red the Mega Ring and Charizardite X.
Okay.
But he doesn't. But Red doesn't know what the hell they're supposed to do. So, yeah.
I wouldn't. Because if I were playing Fire Red and I got that thing, I was like, what the hell does this do?
And so we start now with episode 3, which skips to Saffron, by having Red go directly into Silphco and just beat and free all the people and the Pokemon and whatnot. Skip directly to the battle with Giovanni.
Hey, I just like to point something out real quickly. If Red chose any other of the starters, that Mega Charizard X would do nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
So,
what luck?
So he goes there and he battles Giovanni, and he gets his ass kicked because if this is the main villain of the game, you want to not beat him 4 times before he actually starts doing shit.
Yeah, true.
So it's actually funny because they battle in the Silphco president's actual office, and they actually blow up his office and parts of the building.
Nice.
And by this point, it's evolved to Charizard, and he gets his ass beat by a Nidoqueen.
Yeah, Nidoqueen's pretty beast though.
Which is funny because I'm pretty sure it's ground, and his Charizard had Mega Punch or some kind of fighting attack.
Huh. Well, Mega Punch is normal.
Oh, well, he had some kind of fighting attack. I don't know that much.
Okay.
Seismic Toss.
Cool.
So then he loses the battle, and then it skips to him getting Sabrina's badge, Koga's badge, Blaine's badge. It shows bits and pieces of him going into the Pokemon Mansion and finding out about Mewtwo.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool.
And then it goes to whatchamacallit? Fuck. Oh yeah, he goes back to Viridian City and he battles, and then he meets Giovanni again, and he's like, "What? You're the final gym leader?" And then they have a battle, and then Red gets his ass kicked for the most part, because despite the fact that Giovanni is supposed to use 4 Pokemon, he only uses 2.
Yeah.
The problem I have with Red is that in every battle he's in, except for like one of them, he loses all but one of his Pokemon in a matter of seconds. Like all of his Pokemon are killed in like one hit.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So they have epic battle ensues, and it's okay. It's not terribly remarkable. It's kind of annoying because Giovanni won't shut the fuck up about why is this kid making me so exhilarated? Why am I excited to battle? Even though I'm totally wrecking this kid's shit. So that happens, and then he beats him, and then for some reason, getting beat by a 10-year-old makes him decide to, I'm going to quit Team Rocket. Here, have a badge.
Seems legit. Oh, that was easy.
Then we go into episode 4, which is skipping past all of the Elite Four and going directly into the battle with Green at the end.
Yeah, sweet.
Where they skip everything except for Charizard versus Blastoise.
No.
They show like 3 minutes of that battle. It's over, and then you go into the Hall of Fame, which is really funny because they have like pictures of characters' previous teams like framed in the Hall of Fame room. And it's funny if you look at certain angles, you can see gold in there framed with Meganium.
Oh my god, that's awesome!
Which is ridiculous because Kanto was supposed to come 3 years before Johto.
Yeah, no,
so,
that's funny.
The fuck?
I don't know. I guess that's just the animators having to fill in space, and they thought people would probably notice that.
And then the second half of the episode is God damn it! Is Red going to Cerulean Cave because Green was trying to catch Mewtwo, and it wrecked his ass. It broke his bones.
Oh my god, he did?
Yes, it...
Oh yeah, I thought it was because he was riding his bike indoors.
And so then Red goes there thinking, yay, I'm going to catch the 150th Pokemon.
Apparently Mewtwo is kind of a badass.
Which absolutely wrecks his shit because he uses 6 on 1, and then they all get wrecked except for Charizard, who somewhat stands a chance, except Charizard ends up getting knocked into the water, and it's like they're about to drown, despite Charizard being a fire type. He's drowning in the water because he got hit. And then they have their moment of bonding where the Mega Stone activates, and he turns into Charizard X.
Ooh.
And completely destroys Mewtwo, and then he catches him with an Ultra Ball and not a Master Ball.
Yeah.
And then it ends with them having brunch in the lab, with Red realizing, wait a minute, if there's a Mewtwo, isn't there a Mew? And then a Mew just flies by the window.
What?
It flies by the window and then flies away.
Oh my god.
And then it ends.
Oh wait, I seen the picture before. Mew's like, "Come out, go try to find me, bitch! I dare you."
And that's where it ends. And it's actually...
Needless to say, this is a very good.
It was really good. It was just really short. Is my problem. None of the battles last more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's true.
They're animated.
I kind of understand why, because the whole Pokemon studio is still dedicated to making ass and company doing stuff. And I think this was kind of more like an experimental phase to see how many people knew about Fire Red and the original Red version, and see how they can apply that into the anime. I think this is probably more of an experiment, and considering how well it did, I'm pretty sure it did pretty well. I think we're going to see more productions like this in the future of retellings of all the old games.
Do you know if Fire Red and Leaf Green came out in 2003 or 2004? Because I know Emerald came out in 2005.
2004, yeah.
Damn. I was going to say, if it was 2003, it might have just been a 10-year anniversary of Fire Red and Leaf Green.
That would be amazing if it was.
But I
think it might be.
But I like what they did with this. Only thing I wish is that it would be a bit longer. They can continue with this, though. Like, for example, they can do one of this for Johto for Heart Gold and Soul Silver, or just Gold and Silver. I would just wish, though, that they would make it longer, though. Double it to 8 episodes, or they could make this a full 13-episode series.
That would be sick. Just 5 more generations to go until we can make that awesome trailer for Black and White 2 a reality.
But yeah, it was excellent. Watch it dubbed, because it's absolutely amazing in dub. There's no way to buy it yet because it was only streamed on the Pokemon website.
Yeah, even though it's in dubs. Huh.
The nice thing about that, though, is that the dubs premiered literally a month after the subs.
Oh, nice. They got on that shit ASAP. It's good to know Pokemon's Game Freak's getting very good with their localization.
I'll give it 3, maybe 4 months before we see this on DVD and Blu-ray. And once that happens, buy it immediately. It is required for a collection if you are even the remotest fan of any of the Pokemon franchise at all.
I'm still one of those 4 people who still hasn't watched this yet. Probably because I'm taking a break from Pokemon because of the fucking marathon I did. I do not want to see ass in his face for a long time.
That's what Reddit's for.
Oh my god. Yeah, basically.
Alright. So buy it. It's great. It's amazing. You'll watch it with your friends, make all the jokes, have all the nostalgia.
Oh, yes. And be making all the meme jokes throughout the entire thing. It'll be great.
Yep.
We should do that. Well, we're going to do it anyway.
Yep. All right. Your turn.
Okay. Brandon.
Yes.
You know me.
Yes.
You know I'm into hammer anime.
Yes.
So, you should be not surprised about what I'm about to say when I watched it.
Probably not.
High School DxD new.
Knew it.
Yep. Heyo. We've said multiple times we probably won't watch a series when it's still coming out. This one I did because High School DxD blew so many things out of the water for me with how ham anime operate. Like having an actual protagonist with character, an actual story, an actually good soundtrack. The soundtrack, by the way, is really fucking good. Oh man, this does hit so many high marks for me. It's insane. What High School DX, and that was just the first season. Second season, they're just elaborating on it even more.
Remind me again, this is one of those bouncy fan service shows, right?
It's made by the same guys making Ikitosen, but it is leagues better than it. I guarantee you.
Are there fights, or is it just comedy?
A lot of fights, and it's very good. How's that ice, by the way?
Delicious.
Okay. So, it's hard for me to, really get into detail about High School DxD New, because it is assuming you've watched the first season.
I have not.
But, well, yeah. It's everything that they've established in the first season, they're really building upon with this one. All the characters that have, certain powers are built upon. One of the characters, Kiba, who originally had, no purpose whatsoever, is now suddenly relevant because the story's, building itself around him. It's really interesting with how they're playing it out now.
Oh, it's one of those types of things, is it?
Define those types of things.
Where someone has no purpose, no powers, no nothing, and then they become the main character?
Basically, yeah. He becomes the main character for the first couple of episodes. And that's pretty cool because that's how they, integrate some power struggles between the fallen angels, the devils, and the regular angels. Yeah, like I said, this story is not deep. You're not gonna get any serious character development, but for what it's worth, this is like probably the best story for any harem anime out there that I'm aware of. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately there's some OVAs for this out there that are Blu-ray exclusive, which people keep fucking posting on Facebook and no one's putting a links to it. Ugh. But yeah, I highly recommend giving it a shot. But again, this is the epitome of fan service. This is fan service incarnate. So if you don't like,
is it done right though? Is the question. Is it enjoyable to watch, or is it just disgusting to watch, like Ikitosen?
It is done.
Ikitosen was disgusting.
Yeah, Ikitosen was very bad. I'll just give you that. No, this one, this is very good. It hits. How should I describe this? It invokes both subtlety with fan service in some scenes, and just flat out in your face fan service at times. But it balances itself with like how it plays itself out, though. I guess the best way I could describe it is that it's not just literally like boobs falling on people's faces like every 5 seconds. No, it invokes like imagery and some strokes of imagination to pull it off. I think it's very good with how it's written. And for the guys who...
No, hold on. Ikitosen tried to have imagery too. It failed at it, but it tried to have a plot about the romance of the Three Kingdoms.
I would talk about the first season of Ikitosen.
I think all of them try to revolve around that.
Yeah, but that was just like very dumb story and narrative, and it didn't do anything good. I'm just talking about the first season anyway. The first season was a complete balls, and I will never recommend that to anyone ever. Not even Josh.
Hard to believe Ikitosen got 4 seasons.
Yeah,
and
right.
counting.
Probably
and
sold extremely.
counting.
Probably sold really well. That's probably it. And probably because the guys who are making High School DxD are making a shitload of money.
Well, Ikitosen was the original Battle Girl series. It was the original.
Yeah. It didn't break any ground with harem anime because I'm pretty sure that goes to Tenchi Muyo, but it did leave an impact. Take that as you will.
It did something.
It did do something. But yeah, High School DxD New, definitely the best series for harem anime out there, and fan service and ecchi and all that good stuff. Go watch it if you're into that kind of stuff. But again, parental advisory. Do not watch that if you're cannot handle the sight of boobies.
Censored or on?
Well, the uncensored is just boring because literally half of you're not watching High School DxD if you're watching it censored. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So yeah, my score for this 9 out of 10. Very solid, very good stuff.
Stream it or buy it.
Buy it, very good, worth the investment. I'd buy it myself if I had the money. And also, New is still in Japanese only, but I'm totally gonna pick up the regular first season at some point.
Well, that's because it was airing this year.
Yeah, true.
Alright.
Yeah, so the next one, I'm going to be very brief with this one. Yeah. Have you ever heard of Highlander?
Yes.
I watched Highlander Vengeance.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm glad to know you know what this is. Highlander Vengeance is sort of a retelling of the original Highlander movie, but just botching everything entirely. The same studio who made, what was it? I'm pretty sure it's the same guys who made Claymore, The New Fist of the North Star, and the new Vampire Hunter D movie. They did this, and it's visually it's impressive. Visually, it's like in your face, very bloody, very gory, very over top, all that good stuff. But if it's trying to be a Highlander movie, it doesn't do a very good job, really. How did they do it? Now, I don't remember how they mispronounced Connor McLeod's name as like something very dumb. I forgot how. Let me do a check. I'm curious
Coner.
now.
Is it Coner?
It might be. It was something very bad. Assuming
Who
this page
dubbed
is
this?
done. Colin McLeod.
Who dubbed this?
This was back in 2007, and it was made by Madhouse. Thought so. I don't have a dub company though. Imagi, Anchor Bay Films, and does ring a bell?
No.
Okay, well that should probably give you a good idea of why.
A group of nobodies.
Basically, yeah. The story itself is very shallow. Although I think that kind of goes without saying. Basically, Colin got his ass kicked by some warlord like several hundred years ago, and is now out on a quest for vendetta against him in the future. So it kind of turns itself into Highlander 2. If you know anything about the Highlander series, you know that's automatically a bad thing. So he's still out, and this guy's like the warlord from several hundred years ago who like destroyed his entire clan and left him for a dead man. Is just like robbing the entire world of its resources and all its other shit. It's making the world a very bad place. So Colin, of course, is out with Ryu Headband, is out to settle the score, and doesn't do very much for how it sets itself up. I'm impressed though that they managed to like have an initial fight between Colin and Warlord guy. And he lost that, but he came to grips with what was important to him, which was the usual, had to fight for what's right, usual motto, all that good stuff. They fought again, he won. But, again, it's very two-dimensional with the story. It doesn't accomplish much.
Did they at least do there can be only one, right?
I don't think I think they did something similar to it, but no.
They didn't even do that?
I don't remember exactly. This was a while ago I watched it. If it did, good for them. If it didn't, well, fuck. I will give them credit for having some of the craziest quickening effects in the series so far. Because, well, movie. Damn, where the hell are these hiccups coming from? Anyway.
They have the quickening?
Yeah, the quickening, which is what happens when one immortal slays another, and it's like a crazy electrical... You know what I'm talking about. You've seen that animation, right? Yeah, the one where it, like, blows the hell out of a mall and like all the glass explodes and there's lightning going everywhere. That one. That's basically what it is. Although they kind of just take it up to 11 with this. Visually, this thing is very impressive. I'm not going to deny that. I don't remember how it is for soundtrack. If I don't remember how it is for soundtrack, I can probably infer from that it probably didn't have a very good soundtrack. Yeah, characters. Yeah, it doesn't really do a lot to stand as its own. And even as a Highlander movie, it's a retelling of someone else, of like an old classic. So I don't think they really break much ground here. I don't know why they decided to do this movie, Highlander of all things.
Making anime of a lot of Western things in the Western world generally does not turn out well. So I don't know why they bothered. Never seems to land.
Not really, no.
Like whatchamacallit? Fuck. God damn it, I'm blanking right now. Mass Effect, Dead Space, games, movies, etc. They try to do it, but it never turns out well. It's like American live action.
Yeah.
It does not work.
Well, that's a shame. Highlander Vengeance. I suppose if you're morbidly curious and you're a Highlander fan, you can probably watch it because it is very pleasing to watch. But it offers nothing new in terms of the story. This is nothing like Highlander 2. It's not that bad. So final score, 6 out of 10. It's got good action. It's made by a Madhouse, who again does very crazy shit.
Stream it, buy it,
Stream it. If you like it, buy it. Because frankly, I think Madhouse needs money anyway because they're so visually impressive. Anyway, so yeah, you want me to go one more, or do you want to do one?
How many did you do?
I did 2.
You did 2, right?
Okay.
I guess I'll go. One of the ones I watched very recently that I'm sad to say I forgot that I watched it. It's a little thing that recently came out in dubs by Sentai Filmworks called Heart Connect. I would call it by its Japanese name, but I prefer its English name, even though the American dub doesn't use it by its actual English name.
For me to go look this up.
You won't be able to find it. You'll find a bunch of different other things because I'm calling it by its English name, and I know why they did it. If they called it by its English name, trying to Google search it would found 8 million different other things.
Yep, I just typed in Heart Connect anime and it came up with the same production. You watch a lot of stuff from these guys. You know that? The guys who make the animation for for stuff like K-On! And Chunin Bio.
Well, no, those are Kyoto Animation. This is just the same artist, but this is from a studio called Silverlink.
Okay.
That artist apparently is getting
Cool.
around. But so this is called Heart Connect, and it's a show about 5 teenagers in high school in something of a makeshift newspaper club, like the school's newsletter or something. They write articles and shit about the most interesting things that are happening in school and whatnot. There's 5 main characters, but really only 3 of them actually matter. There's fuck, can't remember. I can't remember any of their names. But see, this is the problem. It's entertaining while you're watching it, but after you watch it, you kind of forget that you watched it.
I understand.
So they have the quirky black male, slightly bitchy girl that's entertaining to watch because she's funny and not actually mean. We have the quirky girl who's just quirky for the sake of being quirky, but she has some demons buried inside, so she hides her emotions and all of that. And we have stock harem hero number 48. And so what happens is one random day, an alien type thing takes over the body of the teacher who is the advisor for their club. And every time you see him, he looks like he's almost about to die. He's always out of breath. You can never tell if he's dying or if he's fucking dehydrating. So he comes in and he's like, "You must complete my task." Kind of like that. And so he's an alien with the power to fuck with people's heads, and I mean that in the most literal sense. He can mind swap people. Like he can put your brain in someone else's body, like you're inside that person. He can turn you back into a kid. He can make you read other people's minds, even if that's something they wanted you to keep private. And so it's really interesting because none of these things happen at the exact same time. It's one gimmick at a time. It happens to all of them. And it shows the inner workings and inner personalities of everyone's minds, how none of them are who they are on the surface. And it's really interesting because it shows that multifaceted characters, how none of these characters are one note. They all have various things going on in their past or in their lives that make them into who they are. And it's really interesting to see how they function, with one of my favorites being quirky girl who's quirky for the sake of being quirky with the demons in her past. They have to come up with some kind of sign or code to know who's in whose body from the outside. Like if you don't know who's in who, and you're one of someone who's not those 2 people, like you're one of the other 3 people, you have to make some kind of sign to know that. And it never really seemed to affect her because she's never had a defined personality of her own. Not that she knew of, at least. She's a people pleaser. Whatever someone wants them to be, she will be that person. In a sense, kind of like Captain Ginyu, where it's like you don't know what he originally was, what he originally used to look like. So it's like she's forgotten who she is. And this whole thing, it really gets to her because I'm already eight different people. I don't want to be any more. Why can't my friends recognize me for who I am?
Yeah.
Things like that. That's one of the most interesting ones. And then there are other ones which aren't as interesting, but more done for a comedy basis. Like there's the second trial they have to go through without killing each other or without breaking down is that for short periods of time, for a couple hours a day, some of them will at random be turned into children with no memory of who anyone is. And that's also pretty cool because it's like, this person looks like this person I used to know when I was a kid. Hi, this person. Hi, this girl who I have a crush on now that looks like this girl I used to be in love with when I was like 9. Uh-oh. Fuck. I just compared her to someone else I used to like before you. Fuck me. And shit like that. And it's nice because it's not just done for laughs. It's done to actually resolve these people's problems. And it's really good. And the last one that they go through, I think, is only in the OVAs. There are 4 OVAs post season, where I actually have only watched one of them, despite having them all downloaded. Again, I seem to forget that I have it. people's thoughts can basically be broadcasted to other people, like the things that you don't want to tell people. Like, what is his problem? Get out. Who do you think you are? Things like that, and it makes things really tense and really awkward for everyone. And so that's really cool. I really like it, and it's really interesting. And while you're watching it, it really grabs you. It's really funny. But as soon as you stop, you forget that it exists, and that's part of the problem.
It doesn't leave an impact on you, yeah.
Well, it leaves an impact, just not a lasting one, and that's its only problem.
Yeah.
One thing that I do kind of like about it, though, is that it changes openings every 3 episodes.
Ah, cool.
So it has like 5 openings.
And, despite what you said about it not having a lasting impact, it still got an 8 on my anime list.
Oh, that's good.
Which is pretty good for them.
It is, because it's actually one of this studio's either first projects or biggest projects.
No kidding. Huh.
So,
that's pretty cool.
I myself, when I remember that it exists, I would give it a 9 and an absolute buy, because for the whole series, it's worth it, it's intelligent, it's one of those things you show with your friend to get them really thinking about things.
Huh, cool.
Like, this is one of those things that you could write a college thesis on. College psychology thesis.
Don't say that, I just might do that.
But it's one of those ones that's subject to a lot of fan analyzation, and justly so, because it really makes you think, and it's really good.
Yeah.
So, buy it, 9 out of 10. Next is a Season 3, The World God Only Knows, the Goddess Arc.
Wait, you watched that show?
Yeah, because I watched
Wow.
I watched the first 2 seasons in 2011.
Huh.
And
I had no idea this would be something you're into.
dude, this is the epitome of harem.
It is?
Basically.
Huh. I haven't watched it yet.
So the basic plot is that it's kind of following on the hinges of the first 2 seasons, where, oh my god, what's his name? I've watched 3 seasons of this show. What the hell?
Keima?
Keima, yes. Fuck you.
I just pulled it up on my anime list, don't worry about it.
Keima Katsu.
8.08, same as the last one.
What?
Huh. 8.08, same as the last show. Huh, cool.
For the first season or for the Goddess Arc?
First season, it looks like.
Yeah, it's pretty highly regarded. So it's about Keima Katsuragi, the god of conquest, or at least in terms of video games. He's a gamer of all kinds, and when you see his game room, he has like 5 of every console ever.
This guy's art just screams Lelouch to me.
It really is. He kind of is Lelouch too. So in this world, PSPs have slide-out keyboards and have good internet connection. And he's the god of conquest, so he plays a lot of visual novels, which there are like thousands of those in Japan on the PSP, because the PSP is all about visual novels, dating sims, and RPGs.
The PSP is the graveyard of JRPGs in America.
Basically, yeah. So he's playing one day, and then he goes on a message board where he gets a message asking if someone asks him if he can complete a mission. Insulted, he says, "Absolutely, I can do it." And then out from the sky falls a demon from hell. I want you to think about that for a minute. A demon from hell falls out of the sky.
Out of the sky. Okay.
Makes sense to me.
Lady, I think you're in the wrong location.
This demon is of course a cute girl.
How about
Looks
that?
around his age, is actually about 300.
Oops.
And
gotta love it when they pull that number out of their ass, or just this person is several times more old than they actually are. Yeah, right.
they actually explain that in a gag segment where it's like he's 17 and he's like, I can't go into that movie. That movie is rated R or whatever, meaning I have to be at least 18. And then the other 2 girls don't bat an eye because in small text above their heads it says above 300.
Cool.
So when he accepts the request, she falls from the sky to him and says, "You must conquer that girl's heart." And then she points at a girl on the track field, and at the same time, a choker appears on his neck. She says that because you accepted the request, we're bound by a contract. If you don't abide by the laws of the contract, this thing is going to explode and kill you.
Okay.
So he has to go and make a bunch of girls that think he's creepy because he's antisocial and only loves video games fall in love with him. Most of these, he does this 4 times per season. Most of these arcs lasting about 2 to 4 episodes. The very first one is the first episode only. In the first 2 seasons that are largely episodic, there's 4 girls per season. And all the girls are different. They have different problems. They're all unique. And for the most part, they're all pretty interesting. There are only 2 that I can actively say that I hate outright. And so it's basically largely episodic for the most part, quest to quest to quest. Come season 3, which if we're being technical, should be season 5, what the anime does is it skips what would be 2 full seasons of anime from the manga and just jumps into what is the most popular arc of the manga, skipping out on about 15 extra conquests into what is the goddess arc. What this means is that there are goddesses from heaven who are losing power because demons from hell, the bad kind of demon, are trying to turn hell back into hell instead of being an agent of heaven or something. So they're losing their powers and they've fallen from heaven, and they've taken residence in the bodies of girls that he has previously saved their hearts from exploding from the demons.
From exploding?
Yeah, because the gimmick is that if you don't save the girl from the demon that's possessing them, their heart will explode and they'll die, and the demon will get out and start killing other people.
Wow, it's pretty brutal.
So the five goddesses or 6, I think, fall from heaven and take up residence in bodies of girls that he has previously saved on his conquests. What he has to do in the first couple episodes is find out, because at this point he's saved about 25 girls. There are 5 specifically, so he has to spend 2 episodes finding who it is specifically, and he has to go and reconquer that girl's heart, so the goddess will gain their powers back.
Wow.
The problem is that there are other demons from hell going and attacking him at the same time and attacking the goddesses, so that way they go into pseudo-comas, so they lose their power. Little by little, he saves various ones. The problem is that to know that these people have the goddesses inside them, at the end of each individual original conquest, they're supposed to lose all memories of falling in love. When they gain the goddess, they retain some memories of the previous conquest. The problem is that there is a 6th girl that also remembers what happened or likes him for something else. Because of this, he can't tell where the final goddess is in. Is it in this girl who remembers or just likes him, or is it in her best friend who was also a conquest? So that takes up about 3 or 4 episodes where he can't decide who it is. And the problem is, one of these people actually genuinely likes him. So he has to break that person's heart who actually likes him in order to get the goddess back. And he feels obligated because he saved these girls before, and they're being attacked and nearly killed. So he has an obligation to them to make it so that they don't die. And this does a lot of emotional damage to him, because ordinarily he doesn't care, because again, he's all about the video games. But when he realizes that he's actually breaking a girl's heart who's not going to forget about this immediately, it has some deep impacts on him.
Oh wow, nice.
And it's pretty good overall, and it has a decent ending that would lead into a season 4/6, but it has a very, very bad start. It takes 3 episodes to get off the ground because they do tiny recaps of what would have been another 25 episodes that they skipped over.
Oh, Jesus.
So because it skips over that, they have to recap and tell you about who people are. And 3 of the girls he has to reconquest are girls that we never saw in anime proper because they skipped over their arcs.
Oops.
So they do that, and it's pretty bad to start. But after those, when you go to the ones that we have seen in the anime, it does a good job at revisiting them and showing that he cares and showing that these characters have more than one trait to them. And it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting, and I liked it. It gets a bad start, but it's pretty good once it picks up. 7 out of 10.
Nice.
Stream it now on Crunchyroll. Buy it when it comes out from Sentai in, I'm going to say, summer.
Well, apparently, doesn't Sentai take a really long time with their dubs?
No, Sentai is really fucking quick. They'll license something.
All right, because the first season is here in dubs already.
The first 2 seasons. What Sentai does is they'll hold off on something until it has 2 seasons, and then license them both, and then put out both seasons within 3 months of each other.
Huh.
So they'll hold off until something has a substantial amount of stuff to watch, and then they'll do it like all at once.
It's pretty good.
All right, so I did 2, and then you go ahead because I only have 2 left.
Oh man, and I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. Alright, well don't worry, I'm going to be skimming through a lot of these because frankly I'm getting tired. It's like 2:30 in the morning where I am, so I'm going to keep this brief on each one. The first one I have to go through at my 13 that I have left is another little harem anime called Omamori Himari.
I've heard of that.
And this is one me and my friend Josh have been like really onto that like before we were watching that. Yeah, I know. Keep bringing him up a couple more times.
He is our anime rental shop.
He pretty much is. Yeah, he pretty much buys everything. Him and I were like really psyched about watching this, and personally, I wasn't telling him this. But I was like, yeah, I'm not expecting anything from this really, and I was a little proven wrong. Some of the characterization in it was pretty cool. Hang on, let me adjust the volume on this music a little bit. There we go. So the characterization is pretty good for some of them, like the main female cat girl lead, who is actually kind of a badass in her own right. Not necessarily something incredibly cool, but she's pretty much like the most useful character in the show. I can't remember all the specifics off the top of my head. I kind of just snagged these off of YouTube. That's how I watched it. But the story is kind of cool. It delves in like the backstory between the female lead and the main dude, who is allergic to cats, and she's a cat girl, and hijinks ensue because of that. You know how it works. I can't really go into much more detail other than that because it is kind of dry, but it's more about the interaction between characters themselves again. So if you're into harem anime, I can kind of recommend it. It doesn't really do anything interesting, but the ending itself is kind of like pulling a page out of Ikitosen and Freezing's book.
Oh god.
It's not, yeah, well, not necessarily like ecchi wise, but more concept wise. And frankly, assuming there's not going to be season 2, it was kind of obvious what was going to happen from a mile away. So it happens. I was like, okay, this goes down. Story's done. Okay, everyone go home. The story's not really interesting. Again, watch it for the characters. Final score, 7 out of 10. It's at least entertaining with the humor it presents. It is not totally boring because, trust me, there are a lot of shit harem anime out there. And this at least manages to solidify itself as something a little above the mark. That's all I got for that one. Alright, next one. New Fist of the North Star.
You watched that?
I did.
How long is it?
It's 3 episodes, dude.
Really?
It's OVA style, kind of like the Pokemon Origins thing.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm still kind of trying to really get into anime from the 80s. Like, that guy, what the hell was it? Captain Harlock. I'm trying to get into that, among other things, and among them is Fist of the North Star. So, when I watched this, I knew there was a lot of history going behind the series to begin with, so when I sat down and watched it, I knew I wasn't going to get the whole package, but what they presented was okay for the most part. They could have literally just replaced Kenshiro in this story with like anyone else, and it would have worked just as well. But again, it's kind of just Kenshiro doing what it does best, touching people's foreheads, making their brains explode, the usual. And again, it's made by Madhouse, who made Highlander Vengeance, so you're gonna expect this to be gruesome as shit.
If you're trying to,
if
you're trying to advertise Madhouse, you don't use Highlander. You use Hellsing Ultimate to advertise Madhouse.
Well, why the hell would I do that?
To advertise Madhouse.
Screw Hellsing.
You don't like Hellsing Ultimate?
I watched the first episode, and as soon as they mentioned Nazi vampires, I gave up.
Okay, you mentioned Goron Lagann or something, or FLCL.
Okay, I'll do that one. But I don't know Madhouse for that. I know Madhouse for doing their really sharp art style with everything exploding. But yeah. New Fist of the North Star for an OVA, it's like maybe a half hour, 45 minutes per episode, so it is not going to last you that long. If I recommend picking it up, yeah, it's actually got a really kick-ass soundtrack from what I recall. It does some really cool guitar riffs. It sounds something reminiscent to... What would be a good comparison of this? Well, I'm not going to come to mind immediately. So, it's got some pretty cool rock tracks. The action scenes, again, are pretty cool, although they're sparse because Kenshiro just one-shots everything, no matter what. But I remember they do have something reminiscent of a plot twist. I'm not spoiling too much because this happens in like the second episode.
Did they show the battle of Rao?
No, he's not in this. Yeah, I know.
What's the point?
I thought they well, this is kind of like a different story apart from the main series. So this is it's something different with story, and the characters are kind of dull, but yeah, the characters are kind of dumb. But the story itself, with how there was a father who was just kind of like ruling over a land, and his son was like treated as an asshole, so he came back wanting vengeance, but figured out his father was gone, so he wanted to kill Kenshiro, but Kenshiro wasn't there because he was out looking for an antidote for a kid so he can save his life. I'll get to that in a sec. So he just kind of came trouncing in and just took over because he also was knowledgeable in the art of Hokuto Shinken. I'm surprised I got that the first time. And it's funny because when Kenshiro goes to this temple, which allegedly has the antidote for the kid who was poisoned, their secret and why they're so protective of that area is because underneath this fucking temple are nukes, and they're aware it can end the world if any outsiders came in. That was pretty awesome. The fact that they're still bringing in... The world is post-apocalyptic, so the fact that they had that in there to remind people, yeah, this was once human civilization, and shit could still go wrong. That's pretty cool. It's a good little throwback, but ultimately I don't think it amounts to much, considering we don't see anything of this temple ever again, and I'm not sure if it will ever be brought up in the anime or anything else ever. But yeah, Kenshiro comes back. He finds like there's war going out in this city about rebelling against the asshole who came in and took over. Yeah, it's pretty entertaining for what it's worth. You're not going to get too much plot, but it's enough to hold your interest. If I were to give it a score, I think maybe an 8 out of 10 is in order. It's still pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
But it's between the soundtrack, Kenshiro just wrecking shit, the art style, the music, everything about it, it's pretty cool. Just the story, if it was better, I would give it a higher score. But that's that. Okay. I've got one more to talk about before I hand it back to you, and I can summarize this very quickly. Do not doubt me.
Okay.
School days. Okay. How do I talk about this? Alright. School days. Everyone knows this for the ending. Can I spoil the ending?
Go for it.
Alright, I'm just gonna summarize this entire show, 13 episode show, in one sentence.
It's only 13. I thought it was 24.
Dude. No, it's 12. Oh my god, I would shoot myself if it was 24. I barely sat through 12. Guy or teenager boy gets his dick in too many holes and ends up getting murdered in the last episode because of a chick who went a little batshit insane. That's basically the gist of it.
His dick has a mind of his own.
It basically does. The first 2 episodes, I'll say, were at least somewhat interesting because we're introducing the characters, so I was at least remotely interested. And then after that, oh my god, the next 8 episodes didn't exist. They were just filler of this guy like wanting to get into multiple girls' pants, so he starts with a friend who hooked him up with a girl, so he puts his dick in there. And then there's another girl who tried to talk about doing other things, so he puts his dick in there. And there's a girl who had a crush on him, so he puts his dick in there. Eventually, he ends up sleeping with the whole class because of a videotape of him sleeping with one of the girls was caught on camera. So then they all ended up taking turns with him. So you see just like small groups of women just lining up as a apartment. I'm like, oh my god, are we doing this?
Do men not
that
exist
happens.
in this world?
Apparently not. That or they have the sex appeal of a dead squirrel. This guy has the sex appeal of a dead squirrel. There's no reason why any girl should be interested in him ever. But he ended up sleeping with the whole class. So then the last episode, which, let's be honest, everyone only knows the show because it's the last episode, he gets killed because one of the girls really wanted his attention and felt severely heartbroken, so she just ends up murdering him. Whoop-de-doo. And one of the girls who was suffering serious emotional damage.
Is this one of those shows that actually shows the sex or just does it off screen?
Does it off screen.
It's funny because there are official hentai versions where they actually show all the sex.
I remember that, yeah.
There's one
but
specifically
that's not
where they
a TV
show.
release.
There's one specifically where they show the two main girls having sex with the guy at the same time on the school's roof, like the murder bitch and the one with the short hair.
Oh Jesus, I would love to see that. That would have made the show so much more interesting. Fuck, I should look it up. Anyway, so I can understand. The moral of the story is, if you get what's coming to you, this guy slept with a few too many girls, when he really should have just focused on the one that meant the most to him, because that was the original one, and then he ended up getting killed. I get that, but the problem is, this show exists up until the last episode, and even then, everyone says the last episode is a real shocker. Everyone keeps saying that, so it was kind of spoiled for me to begin with, and B, I didn't find that shocking to begin with, considering we had all this turmoil going on, and eventually the main character kinda sorta redeems himself at the end before he gets killed.
Really?
And I mean that as in, once everyone figures out, like, one of the girls he was sleeping with, the crazy one that kills him, gets quote-unquote pregnant, everyone just, like, stops seeing him, and he loses all his friends, and he was like, what have I done? So he realizes the errors of his ways, and is like, he finds the original girl he was crushing on, which is still completely falling over him, by the way. So eventually, they get back together, and I would love it if the show ended right there. That for me was like, okay, he's learned his lesson. He has redeemed himself as a character. He's not sleeping with 12 girls at the same time anymore. He's good. Okay, cool. Let's move on with our lives, and nope, he gets killed. Well, now, that happened. If I can, no, don't watch this show. I know there's a moral to the story. Why did people even watch this to begin with?
Episodes 1, 2, and then 13.
Exactly. Yeah. Watch episodes 1, 2, and 13, and you're done. Really.
Bebop it.
Yeah, basically bebop it. We should coin that term, by the way. Watch the first 2 episodes and the last one, and you're done.
Bebop it. There you go.
If you have somehow the time of day to sit through 8 episodes of this guy just fumbling over his own penis because it's dragging on the floor, and is like, I can't keep my dick in my own pants, then good for you. You have accomplished what I thought I would never accomplish, and frankly, I never want to do again.
That's a cool problem to have.
Having
a dick that drags to ground.
I wouldn't. Depends. It'd be impractical, though.
It's all about how you...
I don't know. I like the concept, and they pulled like some weird symbolism parts of like a play or some shit like that, but honestly, it's so crammed between absolutely nothing. If they beefed up the show even a little bit, like added some more content between episodes 2 and 13, then it'd be better. Like some shit happening. But no, the art style in this show is literally like gray, white, and some like 1 or 2 other colors in between. The art style in this show is really fucking bad.
This is one of those ones where everyone looks exactly the same, right? And you don't know who the hell is who.
They do.
Even the main girls.
Although the one with the long hair and the boobs is kind of interesting to look at, but that's because they're boobs, and really everything else in the show is so fucking boring. And I find that girl to be adorable in the first place, not because of the boobs, but because she's so shy compared to everyone else who is kind of a either a fuckhead or a bitch. How about that, huh? Boobs actually being likable. How about that? Anyway.
Seems like a new concept for anime, but I think I can get behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, right. The soundtrack is non-existent. Character development's not there, except for the main dude. And yeah, don't watch it. I don't even recommend streaming it, unless you're into this kind of shit. Even and then, in which case, I question why you're watching the show to begin with.
You watch it like when you want to hang around with your friends for the fuck of it, just for the point of having something so bad to laugh at, or drunk dare or something. This is what we call so bad it's good.
Dude, we should do a fucking drunken watch of this when we're both 21. That would be great. Oh my god. I don't think anyone would claim responsibility for making this show, honestly. No, wait, no. This is the same guys who made High School DxD later on.
This same studio?
Yes.
Who made DxD?
And Ikitosen. The same fucking studio.
Do you know who that is,
also did Ikitosen.
Do you know
Do I know who it is?
The studio name.
No.
Can you find out?
No. Yes. I am actually curious myself now. I must find out.
Because I can tell you a good number of their other works, and if this is the little black sheep.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was. So remind me again, why the fuck these guys have made this and made like a separate game version where there was actually nudity?
The visual novel was actually a game first, and it was just a regular average visual novel. This was made just for the hell of promoting the game.
Oh shit. Okay. Avex Entertainment, Marvelous Entertainment, Lantis, TNK, Pony Canyon Enterprises.
Pony Canyon is a music company.
Interesting. It got 6.63. It deserves it. Anyway.
What were those companies again?
Cool. Hold up. We got Avex Entertainment, Marvelous Entertainment, Lantis, TNK, Pony Canyon Enterprises.
Marvelous is the explanation itself. Marvelous is a game company that occasionally dabbles in anime. Everything they do is pure fan service. Marvelous AQL is the company that would go on to produce both a game and anime of Senran Kagura.
Oh look, I just pulled up High School DxD, and it is TNK and Lantis that are in there too.
Huh. Well, apparently this is a side venture then.
So yeah, School Days, don't watch it. Really, save yourself the trouble.
Rating?
5 out of 10. Nah, 4 out of 10.
You're more generous than I thought you would be.
Yeah, I know. It's because it's an actual thing, and even though it's boring, I'd much rather have it boring than insulting to me as a human being. It's like, yeah, I'd much rather be bored than pissed.
That's one way to look at it.
I suppose so. Anyway, one, knock out your last two, and then I'll just kind of go on a little tirade about all the stuff I have left.
Alright. So this show is technically kind of cheating because I've been trying to watch this show for 3 years. I've just never been able to successfully do it. And I failed to do it again. But
Really?
I watched the most of it this time. That is The Idol Master.
Wow, you watched that?
Yep, it's only like 25 episodes long.
Oh my god, I only just found out about that show.
Well, it's based on like 18 different games.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. I was just flipping to the pictures one day and I found a name. I was like, huh, that's interesting. I wonder what that is.
The most interesting thing about the name is that they use an @ symbol instead of the letter A.
So edgy.
Cars. So The Idol Master, which I swear to God I've been trying to watch since 2011. I watched like 4 or 5 episodes the first time. Last year I watched like 11 of them, and this time I watched 18.
Wow.
I don't think I'm ever going to finish it.
Probably not.
Because every time I try to do it, I restart. Because I forget what happened, or who does what. Or if I like this person's song, or if I hate this person's song. I don't remember.
There's singing involved?
Yeah, it's an idol show. There's a lot of singing.
Is there an English dub?
No.
Fuck.
The closest thing to Idol Master we've had in America are 3 horribly overpriced iOS ports of PSP games.
I mean, not to get those.
Those iOS ports of PSP games that would only cost $30 cost $55 per and there's 3 of them.
Wow, really?
Yes. They ported it. There were 3 games originally, which that's actually pretty standard for Idolmaster. They do it kind of like Pokemon, where they do multiple versions of each, different characters in each. This, they ported those same games with a crappy translation to iOS and charged almost double what they would cost on an actual PSP.
All right, I have to ask this question right now. To any game developers that may be watching this, if any, why are you overpricing your shit? That's just going to reduce your possible income and advertising, and no one will know about you because no one wants to buy it because it's too much fucking money.
The answer...
Why?
The answer, there is one, but it's a stupid one. It's the Aniplex method. It's the Aniplex versus Funimation idea. Funimation has the idea that if they sell something for as cheap as possible, but they make it a bare bones release without any features outside of maybe a commentary or an interview, and they sell it for cheap, they'll get a shit ton of sales and make a decent profit.
Absolutely.
Aniplex has the idea that if they throw in a shit ton of features and extra crap that no one wants and charge a shit ton of money for it, the 5 people that buy it will roughly equate to the 4,000 people that would have bought it if it was only $40 instead of $100.
So Aniplex is the anime equivalent of Capcom. Okay.
Basically, they charge ridiculous amounts, but they know, because they actually made a statement on this. We don't target Funimation's demographic. We target our own people who can afford to spend $300 for a sub-only Blu-ray limited edition of Fate Zero.
Guys,
for only the first 13 episodes.
Guys, your audience does not exist.
It exists enough for them to have made a profit out of Madoka Magica and Fate Zero.
Yeah.
They charge ridiculous amounts, but they don't get crazy sales. It's a balancing act. If they did do things like Funimation, their library would be as big as Funimation too. Their library is tiny. I don't even think they have 100 anime in their library. Funimation has has almost 1,000 or 2.
Huh.
Viz rests somewhere in between.
And also Funimation hit pay dirt with Dragon Ball Z also. You can't tell me they didn't.
Yeah. But so, Idolmaster. It's an anime version of the Idolmaster 2, a PS3 game from the year 2010, or a PS3 port. Well, all the games in Japan were originally in arcade/360, and then were ported over in post to PS3, and the PS3 version was actually superior to all of the Xbox 360 versions because they included all the DLC on the 360 version and added extra DLC. So basically, it's like a Game of the Year edition, except that Game of the Year edition also has DLC. And the thing about these games that make them good is that they're literally, you think Call of Duty or Soul Calibur is bad, there is $3,000 worth of DLC on the Japanese PlayStation Network for Idolmaster 2.
What the fuck?
It's real. This is a rhythm game where you control idol girls in both training and singing and shit, and then you play a little singing mini game.
Riveting. Totally worth $3,000.
Well, the American audiences don't care because they'll equate that to either Guitar Hero, which is dead, or to like Just Dance or something. They're not going to care about it for 2 reasons. 1, it's Japanese, and 2, it's just another music game. The anime takes the major characters, 16 of them, I think, from Idolmaster 2, and throws them all into the same studio. Idol production company. And they're like dirt poor, so they had to hire a new producer because apparently he's good. And producer is nameless because producer is the player avatar in the game, and he has no personality except for the ones you give him. And in a similar way to Persona, if you talk to the characters in the right way, they'll fall in love with you.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So you can do that for whatever reason, but the problem is the age range of these characters ranges from 9 to 23.
23 is not so bad.
Yes, but 9 is.
Yeah, 9 is kind of a problem.
And your guy is like 32.
Oh, really?
Something like that.
Might be one of the reasons why I just never came stateside.
That'll be part of it, yeah. But so it takes
Yeah.
the most popular 16 of them, puts them all in one little production company that's poor, so they need to hire a new producer, so that this guy can get them more gigs and more events. Being an idol in Japan is nothing like being an idol in America. It's not just doing concerts and singing and appearing at an events where you say that you're sponsored by Pepsi and Coke and McDonald's. It's doing a lot of things. It's advertising TV, it's being on television programs, it's doing public events, it's doing model shoots, it's doing a whole bunch of stuff. Idol work is hard. It actually is. It's not as easy as Americans make it out to be. It actually requires training and effort.
That's cool.
So you do that, and there's 16 of them, and yeah, it goes through basically the schedule of most of the big events in Idolmaster 2. And
There were a lot of characters in Idolmaster, by the way. I'm looking down the list on Miami list, and holy crap, there's a lot of
there's
characters.
like 16 of them. And the funny thing is, their production company it actually has is a bit of a gag, actually. It's 765 Pro, or those who know anything about the gaming world, Namco Pro.
Oh,
Because
man.
765 is one of Namco's little aliases.
That's interesting.
So it's kind of a funny gag because of course they're produced or published by Namco Bandai. So it goes through the trials and tribulations of idols, getting concerts, getting people who don't like each other, people fighting, dealing with other rival groups, dealing with a boy band that doesn't like them because they're getting big and that threatens their popularity or something.
Boy bands are still a thing. Yeah.
Yep. But so it goes through that, and I've only seen up to episode 18. But earlier on, it's just basically the different things an idol has to deal with: modeling, doing shit, dealing with events getting canceled, dealing with losing a contract, things like that, etc. And in the second half, its focus is almost entirely on the enemy boy band that's trying to make it so that you guys lose all your popularity and become weak and everything because, oh no, we want the money because we're a boy band.
Yeah. Because all boy bands are evil, don't you know?
Basically. And I can basically summarize that the rest of the show is going to turn out that same way too, but again, I've only seen up to episode 18.
Dude, there's a lot of stuff for this show. Like, I'm going down the list on, again, holy crap, there's a lot of stuff going on
There
for
are
it.
OVAs and shit too, and apparently there's a movie that's going to happen. This is one of the most popular...
OVA, sequel, movie. Yeah.
This is one of the most popular gaming series in Japan.
Huh.
Like, it seriously is.
Japan's demographic is very strange.
They like shit that America could never get into. America, if it doesn't have explosions, it's not worth America's time.
Yeah.
Which is why...
I mean, Japan is really into really cutesy stuff, I'm noticing.
Yeah, but that's more of a supplement to it. There is an underlying game underneath, a fun rhythm game that I actually have played, and dealing with the actual lives of idols. Because again, like I said, this shit is hard. Training for it is hard. Doing the dancing, exercising, singing, it's hard work.
Yeah.
So that's that, and of course, there's no way to get it in America ever unless, well, you import. And it's funny, this game is 3 years old, but it still commands $50 on Amazon.
Wow,
Yep.
really? Huh. Or we could just make a Japanese PSN account and get it that way.
You can. They used to have a demo which I had, but they took it down, so I can't re-download it anymore.
Oh man.
So yeah, and apparently, supposedly, I think there was an announcement that an Idolmaster 3 is coming out.
Huh.
Which I think actually might still be on PS3. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so that's that.
So, considering how much have you seen of it so far? What's your impressions of it?
I like it. It's pretty fun. The music is good. There are 2 openings. This is some of the best animation ever. The choreography in the dancing, which I'm actually surprised I've gone on for this for 10 minutes, but I haven't mentioned. The choreography in the dancing is absolutely amazing. some of the best animation I've seen. The songs are really, really good. It's one of, I think, either A1 Pictures or Production IG's best works. It's one of the best things that they've ever produced in terms of looks. The sound is amazing. It has 2 great openings that has a different ending song every episode. Each ending song is sung by the main character of that episode, the main idol girl. Because a lot of episodes focus on specific characters, so it'll be one of their character songs. And you'll be happy to know that one of the more important ones is done by Noir's Japanese seiyuu, who sings a lot.
Yes.
So that's that. I give it a 9 out of 10. If I ever finish it, probably a 10 out of 10 on a visual standpoint alone.
Damn.
It's that good.
That's pretty generous of you.
It's that good. If you're looking for something to watch that has incredible visual flair, this is it.
Cool.
And the last thing on my list, which again I've only watched like 4 episodes thus far, I kind of seem to have stopped. That happens a lot lately with what I'm watching. Is Ore Shura, a new, weird, different kind of harem that actually doesn't. That is for the most part a love triangle and not actually a harem, and I like that better.
Cool.
It starts out in a very similar way to Chunibyo, where a guy gets into high school and he realizes that he was a very embarrassing teenager because he writes fantasy fanfic about himself as a hero, and I quote as "burning fighting fighter," which I think is probably worse than Dark Flame Master, which is what the guy from Chunibyo is.
Yeah.
And he realizes that, oh my god, everything's embarrassing. So when I get into high school, I'm going to abandon everything I've ever loved, buckle down on school, and study like hell, get the top grades, and become a doctor.
Huh. Seems legit.
2 or 3 months into the school year, a new girl transfers into his class from overseas or something, and apparently she's the prettiest thing in the world. So everyone and everything has a boner for her and is constantly asking.
That girl with white hair?
Is asking her out, even girls even, and she's not interested in anyone. So she notices that this guy is a loner too and understands what that means. So she blackmails him one day by finding his old notebook full of his old self-insert fantasy fanfics, and threatens that she'll let that get out if he doesn't fake being her boyfriend to get the guys at school off her back.
Huh.
This causes nothing but trouble for him because he doesn't give 2 shits about love, and he just wants to study so he can be a doctor or whatever. They have a reason for it, but that reason is so stupid I don't care.
Okay.
And it's really funny because this girl is really cruel and insane, because the actual translated title of this show is "My Girlfriend and My Childhood Friend Fight Too Much." So of course there's a childhood friend, an orange-haired girl that I hate because she's really fucking annoying and stupid, and her gimmick is that she'll do whatever it takes and use whatever is cool at the moment to become popular, but it doesn't work because, well, she's a fucking idiot.
Oh, great.
And one of my favorite moments in this series, or at least from the first 2 episodes, is when she meets the girl and it's like, "Girl, you stole him from me, despite him not actually being my boyfriend." And because the girlfriend is super perceptive, she knows what she wants. She wants him, but because she's kind of evil, she spins it to, "You want to be popular, right? All right, I'll help you do whatever it is you want to be popular. I'll tell you all the things you need to be popular." And the first gimmick they try is walk around with a guitar case. "But I can't play guitar." "It'll be empty. You just need to look like you do it. Use all the terms and shit. Don't let anyone touch it. Say your guitar is your soul." And it's really funny.
I like
and
this
it's really
girl.
funny because the other girl is a complete moron and it's like, "But wait, I don't know any musicians or artists." And then one of my favorite things, of course, which is actually one of the reasons why I watched this in the first place,
Yeah.
just quote the names of the stands from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable.
Wait, that's a line?
Yes, this girl,
Oh my
the
God.
white-haired girl, is obsessed with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable.
Oh my god, this chick. I like
So
her.
I think she says Metallica, Zeppelin, something. There were some other people. I don't quite remember exactly who it was. Crazy Diamond, which I think is a reference to Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and so on. And it's hilarious because ultimately she's just mocking this girl and telling her all the things she can do to make people hate her and think she's a complete idiot. And it's amazing.
Oh my god, it's so good.
My only one thing.
Well, crap. I really need to get on the show now. As soon as I'm done with that Lost Star, this is on top of my list.
The only thing I kind of dislike is that while it's still pretty, its art style is pastels. Everything is really bright. It's almost blinding.
I know and it doesn't use a lot of contrasting colors either. It really blends with itself too much.
So you won't be able to know a wall from the ceiling.
Won't be able to. Yeah, that chick's white hair really blends in with a lot of background at times.
But that's just the two mains, and it's just the two main girls and him for about 4 episodes, and then the other two girls from the harem show up, and they make the white-haired girl almost completely irrelevant.
Wow, really?
Not in that she doesn't have a purpose. It's just in the fact that one of them is tsundere and is annoying and is completely ignorable because she doesn't exist, and the other one is a girl who's basically similar to him in that she actually accepts him for his fantasies, and she likes that too. But she's not like Rika. She's actually accepting of it. She's not really forceful about it. She wants him because she accepts him for who he is and wants him to go back to what he was, but she's not going to force him, which I actually like. That's something you don't see often in harem, is you like someone for who you are, but you're willing to accept what they are now or what they are before, what they want. You accept them for who they are and who they want to be. And so that's pretty good. And I like that a lot, actually. It's probably one of the best harems I've ever seen.
I mean, have you seen?
Because it completely...
I mean, have you seen?
What? Several. I'm just blanking immediately because if I actually went through my anime list, I'd probably pull up 15 off the top of my head. But it's one of the best ones because it almost subverts harem completely. Only one or two characters are completely unlikable and boring. The other two are very, very interesting in the sense that one is evil and that one is accepting. So I can't wait to see how it goes, how it ends, and if it's going to get any more seasons.
Yeah, that sounds like something that I would definitely be on board with trying out. Considering, I'm going to be watching it at some point anyway because you gave it to me. Yeah. Yeah, so my computer just did some weird freezing effect, so I'm going to now literally steamroll through my last few selections of things I've watched this year. Again, this probably isn't everything I watched. There's probably a few I missed that I couldn't find, but if I did, it's probably because I probably don't remember off the top of my head, or wasn't that mentionable to begin with. Alright.
Hold on a sec. You go through one or two. I need to get a drink because my throat is dry as the Nile.
Doing it for almost 4 hours.
And we thought this would only go for 2.
Nope.
Yeah, but knock 1 or 2 out. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Is he gone? I think he's gone. Oh my god, I got this podcast all to myself now. Woo! Okay, so I actually want to save this one for when Brandon comes back, but I guess I can talk about Dragon Ball Z Plan to Eradicate the Sands, which I actually didn't watch until Brandon and I did the Let's Watch of it. For there to be something Dragon Ball Z out there that I haven't watched is very rare, but then again, I'm kind of saving Battle of Gods until it comes out in English dubs. Whatever that happens, I'm not sure yet. Anyway, Plan to Eradicate the Sands, what I saw on the disc, it seems alright. It seems passable, but again, it just kind of bothers me how they cut out all the stuff that actually gave it a plot. Without a plot, a lot of stuff that was on the Raging Blast 2 version edit was just kind of blank and barren, and you had no context for what was going on, so a lot of it was just kind of like random nonsense. There was a tough hold, Cell and Frieza, and some other dudes came back and Cooler. I'm surprised it got Cooler in there, by the way. It's interesting. Other than that, the action itself was pretty cool. It's pretty well animated, even though it was kind of, I don't know if it was redrawn or just re-edited. I think it was just re-edited, kind of like what Kai was doing. I can't, it was using the Japanese soundtrack and Japanese audio, so I can't really comment on the soundtrack too much. Although I can imagine if it came out stateside, it probably used GT score, which I am disappointed because, I don't know. I guess it's better than Kai is reusing the Japanese soundtrack, which I know I keep harping on the Japanese soundtrack, but it's just so boring in comparison to Kai's new dub soundtrack and Bruce Faulkner's. Oh, hey, you're back. I'm talking about Planet Ike and Sands because when we watched that, that's my first time watching it.
We watched that on mic.
That was my first time viewing it. So, again, it's alright, but I don't think it's really worthwhile to check out. Unless you have Raging Watch 2, in which case, yeah, you can check it out. Or you can just watch our channel and get a taste of it for yourself.
Well, the problem with the HD version of that is that it cut out literally half of the movie.
I know, that's why I said.
Originally, it was like an hour.
Yeah.
It was an hour and 10 minutes long, and the one in the movie is cut down to only be like 28 minutes long.
It gives no con going on.
So it's cut down to be the length
there's
of
no
an
context for
episode.
anything given. So you're kind of just left with the pretty well animated action, but that's about it. So final score for that one, 6 out of 10. I've seen other things done better in Dragon Ball Z, but it's not as bad as Bio Broly.
Considering, I'm going to say this right now, considering it's only available in sub no matter what version you're watching, just go back and watch the 1992 original version.
Or watch let's watch a bit.
That too. Promote us.
Okay, hell yeah. Alright, next one. I was waiting for you to come back so I could talk about this one. I watched this and I was mildly surprised and disappointed at the same time, though I can't really say why I was expecting anything to begin with. Hey, Dr. Shea in the background.
Chair.
Okay.
Chair did it again.
The 1990s animated Tekken movie. I watched that and it's using the usual 90s animation style of like Yu Yu Hakusho, where a lot of shows seem to meld themselves around this art style where it's like very jaggy, very like
90s?
Very 90s, yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. But it's its own distinct art style, and you can tell what it is just by looking at it. There's not a lot of detail in anything, and it doesn't really like delve too much into like other like the color spectrum, but you'll know it when you see it. This movie, it's basically a retelling of Tekken 1's story, which granted back then Tekken didn't really emphasize story at all. It was just kind of like its own standalone thing, and that was it. So this kind of does a good job of introducing players to the plot. The plot's oh man. So there's this plot about Heihachi growing mutant dinosaurs. So you can just kind of ignore that, just like push off to the side. It's like, yeah, there's no dinosaurs in here. What the fuck are you talking about? The real meat and potatoes of this movie is the conflict between Heihachi and Kazuya, which is basically the entire meat and bones of the entire Tekken series, I would argue. The story itself is pretty good, although the plot twist they gave as to why Heihachi threw Kazuya down a cliff is kind of bullshit, I want to say. Because,
stupid.
Yeah, he explained that the reason he did it is so Kazuya could foster his hatred and become stronger than he is, which I would argue is kind of rock stupid because then you could just raise him to be stronger than you are to begin with. Yeah.
I'd argue Kazuya is rock stupid too.
Yeah, but he's pretty good villain-wise. He's actually a pretty good character by himself, but he's still rock stupid. Anyway, the soundtrack itself, this is the most notable thing for me, the soundtrack. They actually got a few licensed songs in there, like Clean My Wounds by Stabbing Westward.
No, it's Save Yourself by Stabbing Westward.
Really? No.
Yeah.
No. Well, they have Clean Your Wounds by someone in there. I don't know who. Soul had, what was the song they did? Oh yeah, Bone Crusher, which is personally one of my favorite songs of all time right now. That is a very good song. But yeah, they have a very good soundtrack in there. It's kind of like how I'll automatically have a boner for any song that's licensed inside of a Dragon Ball Z movie, but that's totally not biased at all. Nope. But yeah, I think the fight scenes themselves aren't really too interesting, and the story itself is still pretty bland. If you want a good story, I recommend something like Tekken 4, Tekken 5, where they actually had really good riders on board, so they made something good out of it. But
Tekken 5 was good.
Tekken 5 was hella good, dude. Yeah. Just don't expect any of the cool stuff you can do with Kazuya like you can in Tekken 6 or, for God's sakes, Tekken Revolution.
Is he bad or good in Revolution?
He's borderline broken.
In a good way or a bad way?
Broken can only mean good. Well, at least the way I use it. He is very good.
Broken can also mean their combos don't work.
That's true.
Kind of like Itachi in the first version of Storm 3.
Really?
There are some problems where Itachi's attacks won't connect, even if you're right in front of them in training mode when they're not moving.
You know, I was telling you about that, but you didn't believe me.
No, I knew it. I just didn't know which form you were talking about, because it occurs in all three forms.
Yeah, like I said. Anyway, so the Tekken movie, you can find it on YouTube for free. It's like an hour long, roughly. If you want something to just sit down and reminisce over Tekken and see where its roots came from, then you might have fun with it. It's good for the lore, but if you're not familiar with Tekken, don't watch it. Although, again, it is on YouTube for free, so what do you have to lose?
Well, it's a summary. It's a summary of the first two games, right? So
no, just
that'll get you caught up for story.
2 games, yeah, I'd say it's a summary of the first two. Although it's just the first game. Anyway,
what happens in Tekken 2?
Tekken 2, Kazuya gets thrown down a volcano. Yeah, really. But yeah.
Wasn't that what happened in the first one?
No, that was Kazuya throwing Heihachi down a volcano. Was it a volcano? No. I think it was Kazuya throwing Heihachi down the same cliff that he was thrown down as a child. So it's Kazuya basically getting his revenge. Anyway.
Beautiful.
Yep, next show. Bakken and Test, Season 1 and 2, and the OVA.
Very good.
This show is phenomenal. It is so comedic.
Hold on, wait. What's your rating? Hold on a sec, wait. What's your rating on Tekken?
Tekken? 6 out of 10.
Rating and viewing format?
Viewing format? Stream it first. Well, it's on YouTube for free, so watch it that way.
You know you can actually buy it for like $3 on Amazon?
I'm not surprised.
I kind of want to get that just so I can have Kyle Aber sign Kazuya. Because Kyle Aber plays Kazuya in one of the later movies.
Yeah, Blood Vengeance. Yeah, because Tekken 6 was Bloodline Rebellion.
What was Bloodline Rebellion anyways?
Tekken 6.
Was that an expansion?
No,
like
it was the
Dark
console
Resurrection?
version that every Tekken game was first released in an arcade. So whenever someone says Tekken arcade, they refer to the arcade version, but once someone says like Tekken 6 BR, they're referring to the console version. So it's a way to differentiate itself from the arcade port, which is drastically different because of frame data being a lot different for characters, some being broken as shit like Bob and other characters. So it's to differentiate the balancing of characters. Yeah, anyway. Bakken and Test. Ingeniously written, one of the best comedic anime I've ever seen in my entire life. I think that's all I really need to say about that. Visually, it is a trip. Oh my god. The visuals, like... How do I describe this? Oh my god. Is there a way to...
Good.
What?
Good.
Very good. Very interesting. I guess the best way I can describe it is go watch one of Funimation's trailers for it. That's really the best advice I can give for that. The characters themselves pretty well written, very comedic, very interesting. All of them do something at some point or another, or mean something to the plot. Even though I wouldn't really say there isn't much of a plot to begin with. Even though they are kind of like just like a war-type classroom setting, which I find to be the most ridiculous thing ever, but also really funny at the same time. Yeah. Score 9 out of 10, easily, for both seasons. The OVA is pretty good. It is its own standalone creature and is kind of like a lead-in to Season 2. So watch Season 1, then the OVA in Season 2. Okay, boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Done. Next one.
Purchase or stream?
Purchase, definitely. Both seasons and OVA.
It's on Netflix.
It is?
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're making a combo pack soon.
Cool. Well, whatever means you have of watching it, do it. And particularly watch it in Blu-ray. Very pretty. Very awesome. It's also how my PS3 crashed.
What?
That's also how my PS3 disc reader broke. I was watching Season 2 in Blu-ray, and all of a sudden the disc reader just broke.
Please tell me you complained to Josh about that.
I did. And I was like, Yeah. I don't know what happened. I still baffles me to this day, but I'm gonna get that fixed eventually. Anyway, next show, Freezing.
Oh god.
Holy crap! This is one hell of a kick-ass action show.
Oh god.
What?
I know what it is.
Oh, I'm glad you know what it is. I mentioned earlier, High School DxD is made by the same guys who did Freezing, and if you want to use what my example was earlier of an indication of it, this is a very fan base heavy, and it's also very action heavy. The action in Freezing is very, very good. You just have to either deal with or take it with a combo of all the heavy fanfic. I was about to say fanfiction. Fan service, yeah. I was about to say fanfiction. That was really weird. Anyway. As for all the characters, I really don't give a shit about any of them outside of Satellizer, who is one of the most... hey, Skype's back up. Who is probably one of my favorite female leads in any harem I've ever seen. She's adorable, and she can wreck people's shit like no one's business. Pretty unusual balance, but I don't know. I think she's really cool with the way she's played out. So if you have a chance, again, if you can deal with a fan service or you like that kind of stuff, like I do, definitely watch it. Watch it in high def. Watch it in Blu-ray. Buy that shit. Show support. If you don't, at least give the first episode a shot. I know you can at least watch the first episode in dubs on Funimation's YouTube channel, so give it a shot if you're interested. You keep in mind, remember though, rated R, rated X, not rated X. That's not that hardcore. If it was, I'd never stop watching it.
God damn it.
Score 8 out of 10. I haven't watched the second season yet, but I've heard some
because it was airing this year.
Yeah, it's airing, but I watched this year, so yeah. Anyway, so that's Freezing. Oh, here we go.
Hey, thanks for checking out.
Galaxy Railways. Same guy who...
Not seen that.
You probably haven't, because this came out in like 2003, 2004. It was made by the same guy who did Star Blazers. I think it's the same continuity, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Very similar art style and very similar premise. So, yeah. Galaxy Railways is basically taking trains and putting them in space.
I've heard of this.
Oh, you have? Cool.
Doesn't make any sense, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, I know it doesn't make any sense, but Star Blazers was kind of just taking a battleship and refitting it into why am I blanking on spaceship? It's kind of taking just like a regular tanker from World War II and making it into a spaceship that has one of the coolest weapons ever. The wave motion gun. Oh my god. I'm still surprised that the fucking Argo appears in Hyperdimension Mark II. That is still one of the most metal things I've ever seen, and I'm going to edit that video at some point, by the way. Anyway, so back to Galaxy Railways. It plays out really cool. It's kind of dealing like with again, like how you have trains in space. You have like train jackers trying to take over. You got like aliens trying to destroy them. You got accidents going on. So you have like the special task force dedicated to like acting as kind of like as the bouncers for this kind of thing. I don't remember how the story plays out exactly, but it centers around this one guy who is a cadet and makes it into the ranks and is kind of just thrust into like heavy action that's just going on all the time. So it doesn't really focus itself too much around a central plot as it's developing, but it's more like him growing as a character around what others are doing. So it's kind of like Cowboy Bebop, but character development included, if you can believe that.
I would hope so.
Yeah. It's visually, oh my god. Fucking guy who makes this Captain Harlock and Star Blazers is like one of my favorite artists of all time, period. He makes such good art style. If you get a chance to look him up, I forgot his name off the top of my head though. But yeah, needless to say, it's very visually amazing. Soundtrack wise, it's okay. I don't remember too many songs, but I remember it has some very nice atmospheric pieces. So,
oh, nice.
if you want something that like combines like southwestern trains like back from the 1800s into space, this is a kind of a theme with this director though. He does kind of always throw in
Polar
themes
Express.
in space. Yeah, to an extent. It is interesting. I at least recommend watch. I know a lot of people aren't going to be too into it because of the theme alone, but I at least recommend checking out the first 2 episodes because that's where shit really goes down. After that, it kind of like builds upon itself, and you might like the first 2 episodes. Who knows? Score 7 out of 10. I wouldn't say it's as good as Star Blazers, but it can be its own standalone thing. They have a season 2, but it's only in subs, and I'm disappointed by that, but I'm going to check it out eventually anyway. And yeah, those are for Galaxy Airways.
Buy, watch, or stream?
Stream first, and if you like it, buy it. Because I know the target demographic is not like, it's kind of specific, but not entirely. Alright, Girls Bravo. Oh man.
Excellent.
Okay. That groan wasn't necessarily for me thinking, oh god, it's in our school days. No, not even close. God no. Girls Bravo is kind of another harem, but this falls into that category of all the other obscure titles because they don't make any. It doesn't take any chances. It's just all-out fan service with no real style or substance going for it. I suppose the most interesting part about it is that there's some land on the moon that is full of females, and there are no men whatsoever.
I thought they said it was a different planet.
It might be. I think it was on the moon. It was one of
Something
those.
about how it's a different planet, and only 10% of the population is men.
Yeah, I think that was it. But I don't really have a lot to say about this. It's whenever it tries.
It's been done before, and it's been done better, basically.
It's trying to. Well, I wouldn't say that. This is kind of older. I think like early 2000s, something like that. The
2005.
art style is bland. The soundtrack is a little upbeat at times, but it's nothing to write home about. Characters. I don't remember fucking characters in that one. Hang on.
There's only like 3 that matter.
I know. I need to go.
There's only 4 that matter specifically.
I need to go look this up. Were there any characters of worthwhile in Girls Bravo? Girls Bravo first season, Girls Bravo second season. By the way, both seasons are basically just one giant series. It's, alright. Let's see. You're forgettable. You're forgettable. I didn't even know you were a thing. You're forgettable. Okay, never mind. Only one of actual interest is the pink-haired one, and that's because she's kind of the most interesting one there. Surprising as that is. Yeah.
Because she's an alien where everything is a foreign concept to her.
Uh-huh.
The most interesting scene she has is where she fillets a banana.
Yeah, she basically does perform full-on fellatio with a banana. Take that as you will. Again, even from like a fan service point of view, there's nothing interesting about it. Sure, there's nudity. What they fucking do? High School DxD blows out of the water in that department.
So does High School of the Dead.
Exactly. Well, High School of the Dead, I don't even think has nudity.
It does. It's just not common.
Okay. Well, again, I can't recommend this to anyone because if it was just one season and it's just 12 episodes, maybe if you're morbidly curious. But because it's 2 seasons, you could argue, yeah, you're getting more bang for your buck, but even then, it's not special. So, yeah, that's basically all I have to say about that. It's not that good. Skip it. Now, what do I have left?
How many do you have left?
4.
Huh.
Alright, I'm going to take care of the last 2, and then the other 2 you and I have probably both seen before. My Bride's a Mermaid. This is what happens when you mix crack with comedy. And I love it.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Why no?
It's a stupid. Stupid. Bad.
You think Excel Saga was stupid?
Kind of.
Kind of. I think
At times.
Okay, at times.
It had moments of great comedy, but other times it was rock stupid as shit.
Yeah. I think My Bride's a Mermaid was actually pretty damn hilarious. It didn't have any setups or punchlines, but it was just all out visual humor. especially the one episode where Sun's father dressed up as a high school girl from a visual novel. Oh my god, I had to pause, take like a 10-minute break because I was laughing so hard, come back, and I was still fucking laughing.
Wait a minute, I remember something else that I showed you that is on this list that you might cover next.
What is that?
Finish this.
Okay. If you're looking for a really out there premise of a mermaid being raised in like a mermaid Japanese mafia gang, and that is just absolutely ridiculous humor over the top, give it a shot. I recommend it, but I don't buy it. Stream it first. If the humor is getting to you, then yeah.
Well, it's on Netflix.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would do it. I always recommend watching like the first 2 or 3 episodes because it needs a little time to set up, but the humor is still all in there. You're gonna hate that little fucking the conch shell though. She was never redeeming ever or ever interesting. She's just there to be a cunt and that's it. Okay, next. Oh yeah, score.
Wait.
8 out of 10.
Nice.
The humor is
Wait.
my kind of style though. But
No, wait, you might mention it after all. Go ahead.
all right. Sonic Night of the Werehog.
God, no.
Why?
Anything having to do with the fucking werehog is an instant no.
Uh.
I don't care how good it might actually be. Anything with the werehog is an auto no.
Alright, well, rather than choking on his own vomit aside, this is actually, I don't know why, but Sega decided to like hire some company to do some an animated short for them that's like 20-30 minutes long. I can kind of see it as more like a Halloween special crossed with advertising for Sonic Unleashed. Yeah, it does incorporate the werehog, but you don't have to play as a werehog, so that's a plus. Visually, this is pretty cool. I'd say it's on par with a Pixar movie, and it's silly. There's no dialogue. In fact,
Is it CG or anime?
CG.
Does that technically count as an anime?
Well, it does on my anime list. So I'm just going by that. And even then, you can watch it on YouTube for free, so you don't have to pay a dime for this. You can just go watch it at your leisure, and it's pretty entertaining. I recommend watching it.
Do you even know if this was sold in some sort of physical format or if this was just an internet thing like Pokemon Origins?
Nope. Not a clue.
Lovely.
Oh yeah. So considering it's free, I kind of cut out a little bit of slack, but it is still pretty cool. The humor's there. It's pretty well animated. 8 out of 10. It's pretty cool.
Meh.
But only if you're really a Sonic fan. But even if
Or
you're
if
not a
you-
Sonic fan, it's still pretty cool to watch if you're into Pixar stuff.
Or if you were able to tolerate Sonic Unleashed.
I haven't played Sonic Unleashed yet, luckily for me.
Oh,
Okay. Two more and I'm done. Both of which you have probably seen before. The first one, Howl's Moving Castle.
I have not.
Huh, okay.
I own it, but I have not.
It is a Studio Ghibli movie, so go watch it. That's it.
Case in point.
That's
Done.
it.
Boom.
Okay, I should elaborate a little more. It's got Christian
8, 9,
Bale
10.
as a wizard. Now, is that justification enough to go watch it?
Okay.
Okay, done. Next. Oh, score. 9 out of 10. Very cool.
You know,
Very cool.
Howl's
Very
Moving
interesting
Castle.
plot.
Howl's Moving Castle wasn't the first Ghibli movie to have a Batman in it.
Really?
Porco Rosso from the late 80s had Michael Keaton, who was Batman in the 80s Batman movies.
Cool.
The first one, the one where the Joker was, whatchamacallit, Mark Hamill.
Huh. Nice. Alright, one more. This is one you got me into, and son of a bitch, this is amazing. Hachiraku Mao-sama, the Devil's a Part-Timer.
How did I forget that?
How did you forget that? Oh my god.
But there is one last thing, though, that you did indeed not mention, but after this.
Okay. Holy crap. Wow. This is so fucking funny, and it's so cool. I don't...
Just mention the premise first. The premise is
Okay.
gold.
First, it starts off in another dimension where an army is fighting the Devil's army. The leader of army that's fighting the Devil's army goes to fight the Devil, Unfortunately, he loses, so in order to retreat, he flees into a portal into another dimension and comes out in modern-day Japan. And to earn a living, he has to take up the devil takes up a job at McDonald's, which is basically McDonald's, but you get the joke. And do I have to keep explaining, Brandon? Do I need to explain why this is so hilarious?
No.
The
devil works at McDonald's. The devil works at McDonald's. And Lucifer has a PS Vita.
He does.
Sony, crafty devil.
Okay. Every character in the show is really fucking awesome in their own way, too.
Everyone is really funny. Everyone has their own little quirks.
Chiho.
God.
Chiho. The fucking faces she does is so awesome.
The boobs.
And boobs. But they kind of like use the boobs in like a comedic manner.
Of course.
With the redhead being superbly jealous, and sometimes they have like the deliberate bouncing noises just to make fun of it.
I think they only actually call attention to the boobs like 2 times ever.
I know.
Like one time is they're in a water park.
2 special 1-pounders coming up.
The one time I remember specifically is they're in a water park or a zoo or something, and a monkey gets loose, and the monkey runs up to her and starts motorboating her.
Oh yeah, that too.
And her bikini has sesame seed buns
and lettuce. They're structured like a hamburger,
burgers.
And that's the joke. Oh damn. I'm not sure what else to get into detail besides that. The soundtrack is amazing. The action, holy crap! The action, whenever it pops up, is done so superbly well. I can't even describe it.
Funimation has listed it for a dub.
Yes. Wait, who are they getting to voice act for it?
They haven't set out the cast yet, but Funimation is doing a 12 days of anime 12 days of anime announcements for up to Christmas. That was one of their announcements. That they've announced that they're going to dub the devil as a part-timer. They just don't have a cast or a trailer yet.
That means good.
But it's excellent, so of course it's going to do well.
Absolutely top-notch anime. I can't recommend this enough. Go buy it. Go throw your money at whoever made this. Just like shove it in their face and then put it in their wallet. And then give them a hand job while you're at it.
Okay.
Well, it's good. They need money.
It looks excellent. It sounds great. All the characters are funny and unique in their own way. And I think this is one of the few series where I can honestly say I don't hate any of the characters. I genuinely like everyone in some way, shape, or form.
I thought I was the only one who had that quirk where it's so hard for me to like all the characters in the show.
That is next to impossible for me in most cases.
Noticed. Final score for me, 9 out of 10. I didn't give it a 10 because it ended.
Exactly, and it had a final OVA ending episode that was really forced and annoying.
Oh man, I should be glad I skipped that one.
You should. That thing. It's an OVA where it's like it starts out where Chio is having a dream where it's like, I'm sorry, but my planet needs me. I must go.
Oh, that. Oh, I thought that was part of the main series.
It is. It's just a post-episode thing. It's basically an OVA because it's done after the main conflict is over.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically counted as an OVA, the 13th episode. You can
Cool.
ignore that episode. It's the only subpar episode, only because it starts out with Chio having a dream where Mao basically says, I must go, my planet needs me.
Yeah, basically.
And then it fades back into a funny episode afterwards, but that start is really, really jarring.
Yeah.
9
I love
10.
Chiho otherwise.
9 out of 10. Buy it immediately as soon as Funimation dubs it.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
And the last one that I forgot and remembered just because of some of the reactions you were having to some of the things you listed, and your reaction to this being one of my favorite ever, Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works.
Oh.
The movie. Your
Yeah.
reaction to that was priceless. It was gold.
Oh. Yeah. Hey, at least Yamcha didn't get his heart taken out when he had his hand run through by Dr. Gero. Yeah?
Tell the nice people. They want to know.
Okay. For anyone who's familiar with Fate Stay Night, we'll probably do some Let's Plays for those games at some point. One of the characters, the little white-haired girl, nice character. Although, yeah, Ilya. At one point, this series, or this, like, was it an OVA, a movie?
Movie.
Okay, movie. It initially starts off like following the same, like retelling the original Fate Stay Night series, but then it kind of deviates itself a little bit. I mean, by Gilgamesh full on ripping out Ilya's heart in a super gory scene. They censored nothing.
It's really beautiful. He's fighting a berserker, and he kills him with no trouble at all.
Yeah.
And that's really said something about everyone else when he can kill him without him getting anywhere close to him.
Yeah, essentially.
So
then again, giant wall of swords.
So he needs Ilya because she is a homunculus, a doll, a vessel for the Holy Grail. Her body serves no purpose. It's the insides that matter. After he kills Berserker, he comes up to her to rubs her cheek, makes a rape face, and says something clever. I don't remember what it is, and then right as she looks like she's about to get raped or suspects it, nope, he jams his hand right into her chest cavity, and she starts bleeding out the chest and out the mouth, and it's hilarious. And you see Shiro react immediately. And then she's like, what? And then to add insult to injury, to make it even better, he grabs and rips the heart right out of her fucking chest. And she dies immediately, of course, because, well, her heart's gone. But it is just amazing because Shiro goes fucking insane. It's hilarious. There's blood everywhere. And Gilgamesh is laughing like a madman. And Bob is frozen for about 5 minutes, not being able to do anything, where I have to pause the movie.
Yeah. That was a thing. Oh, man. It was at that point I realized, this series might be a little more gruesome than I originally thought it'd be from Fate Stay Night.
That is why you need to fucking watch Fate Zero. It is bloody. And I mean really bloody.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, man.
That fucking image is still burned in my head, man.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Thinking about it now, I'm actually getting a little horny.
Brandon gets his rocks off by having little girl's hearts ripped out. Okay.
You know me. I love the gore.
Yeah, true.
I love the intensity of that and all of it. And I'm just gonna say it right now. Having her heart ripped out, that was not the last of Ilya's gory troubles. Not by a long shot. You were gonna love Fate Zero. Her problems are just beginning.
I think I remember seeing a gif of how her mom died.
That's something completely different, but that's part of it too.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna summarize it like this. And this will haunt you until you actually see it.
Oh.
Daddy loves you, Ilya. Daddy loves you too.
Oh no, that. I remember.
It's beautiful. It's indescribable.
I remember.
And the sad thing is, I don't hate Ilya too. That's the funny part is, you would think from me doing this, I hate her. I hate her with a passion, but no, I don't. She's mildly annoying as an Onichan character, but nothing truly worth hating.
No. I can't help but wonder if the release of that Phantasmal Carnival thing was just kind of released as like a stark contrast to Fate Zero.
I think I might have mentioned this to you before, but it's hilarious. In the fall season of 2011, Carnival Phantasm and Fate Zero were airing at the exact same time, and I think even on the exact same day.
Dude, that is great.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Saber's voiced by Rukia.
I know. Rukia is coming to Taiyokan, and I bought Unlimited Blade Works the movie. It's going to get here on Saturday, so I can have it signed by her next Friday.
Sweet. Oh man, that one image of Mortal Kombat in Fate is why I love that movie so much. Wow.
Brutality a la Scorpion
Yeah.
or Cyrax.
Any of them, really. That was just shy of having her head ripped off with her spinal cord still attached. That was right up there. Other than that, everything else was about that was really cool. Like how the story from then on just went completely like in the opposite direction of what the original Fate Stay Night was. I mean, it kind of kept to some themes, but
It kept the majority of things.
losing the command seals to Saber to Gilgamesh, was it, or was it someone else?
He didn't lose the seals. It's just that Castor stole her from him by using her Noble Phantasm rule breaker. It means she can steal any one servant from someone, but she can only do it once.
Okay.
So she steals it, and that sets up the plot of the rest of the movie. And Shiro fights himself, and the movie is just excellent for more than just the gore. It just has excellent music, excellent acting, and just some of the best animation I've seen.
I still have no idea how the hell Archer could be Shiro. How the fuck does that work?
They never really explain, even in the visual novel, how he's him from the future, and how Saber somehow knows, and I quote, "You are the hero that Shiro becomes." 2 questions. 1, how the fuck do you know that? And 2, how the fuck would you... You went back after he wins the war to your own time, and you never get summoned again in any future wars. How the fuck do you know anything about him?
Yeah. And Archer's face becomes that of Shiro's for some odd reason. So I guess in the future his eyes shrink and it gets Gaara's voice. Alright. That's odd. But yeah, crazy plot holes aside that need to be answered. Very fantastic. I highly recommend watching it. 9 out of 10.
I would say 10 out of 10 if only for the fact that it does a pretty good job of compressing 25 hours into an hour into about 2 hours.
Fun fact, I was gonna give that an 8 out of 10, but that 9 out of 10 came exclusively from that Mortal Kombat scene. Exclusively.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh yes.
So
buy, stream,
buy it. It's really cheap. It's a movie you can get it for like $15 on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
Buy it. It's more than worth it.
Easily.
All right, so that was all the anime that we've watched or that we remembered in all of 2014 or 13.
My list was substantially longer than yours because this has been the year I've dropped a lot of time into watching shows and a lot of other shit I've always wanted to watch.
This is the year I dropped into games. I've played at least 4 RPGs this year.
Yeah, nice.
And those are full-length RPGs, so.
True. I suppose at some point I'm gonna have to get around to finishing some stuff like what was Casher and Sins. I haven't finished that yet. Samurai 7. Because I immediately it was like halfway through Samurai 7 I stopped watching Toonami because the fucking midnight time slot and because I go to college and all that. Yeah.
Dude, that's why you need satellite TV. You can get it with DVR, and you can also have it at 9 p.m. instead of midnight.
That'd be amazing. Yeah. But I'm only 2 episodes shy of finishing Casher and Sins 2. Jesus. I'm lazy. Anyway. So, now that that's done, I'm going to list off 5 shows I want to watch. The first one being Orishura. I can immediately tell you from just right off the bat, I want to watch that. Second one, Fate Zero. Holy crap, I cannot wait to get my hands on that one. Just looking at my on-hold list right now, I can tell I need to get back to watching Inuyasha at some point in the future. I gotta finish Camp for what? Why would I do that to myself? Soundtrack. Let's see. I have my hit list right here, and I'm looking through it, and there's a lot of stuff. Beelzebub. A lot of the Chunin Bio stuff that was kind of like the specials. Clan After Story, Day of Life 2. Holy crap! I cannot wait for Day of Life Season 2. That's gonna be great.
Yay!
Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods.
Animation, get your ass in gear.
Yeah, like just slay that hold Fox has on Dragon Ball Z, please.
Slay the demon.
Maybe if I'm bored enough, I'll watch that special with Ilya as the main character in Fate. Maybe if I'm bored enough, I'll do that. I don't know.
Fate, Khaled, Line, or Prisma Elia. It's something else that I watched only like 2 episodes of. It is a parody of the Maho Shoujo genre in general.
Awesome.
It takes elements in the very first episode from Madoka Magica with the contracts and the wishes and crap, and then also get some Card Captor and Sailor Moon shit in there. It's just all over the place.
Yeah. Alright, so one of the big ones I actually do want to watch is Ghost in the Shell, the movie. And then we'll get start on Standalone Complex.
Second
Gintama, yeah, second gig.
gig? Gintama's not going to happen. It's almost 300 episodes.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oops. Let's see. Fist of the North Star. I'll get to the expanded series of Hikitosen eventually, just to see if they improve the visual show whatsoever.
I'm going to
doubt
with
it.
no.
I doubt it.
I'm going to go with no.
Yeah.
They have a format that sells, and they know it.
Yeah, true. Infinite Strato Season 2. Holy fuck, I cannot wait. But I'm withholding that until I watch the dubs. Because I'm weird. And because I'm an absolute fanboy for Charlotte's English dub voice. And Laura's.
Nice.
Yep. Huh, I got that reaction out of you. I'm surprised. Let's see. What else is there in here? Oh, yeah, the entire Bakemonogatari series. That Nisei Monogatari, Nico Monogatari. That, like, 1 or 2 episodes I had in there.
Monogatari is 4 episodes.
Yeah. I already have those on standby. I'm gonna get to those when I'm done with Outlaw Star. And then I'm done with Orishora. And then I'm done with... I'm thinking about hitting up Tenchi Muyo GXP because my dad's had that for years. I've never watched it once. He also does Burst Angel, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna watch Burst Angel anytime soon. Again. I got like 7 episodes into that, and I was like, no. Let's see. You have any in mind you want to check out?
Well, I have some things here that I've had downloaded for a while that I haven't touched. I guess I can mention.
All right.
I have downloaded the full dub of Medaka Box that I need to get around to.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm gonna totally do that too. That looks hella cool.
Beyond the Boundary, which is another one of the big hits from the fall season, which is actually this has been a very active year for Kyoto Animation. That's another Kyoto Animation series, but it's not a regular slice of life. It's something about how people create weapons out of blood or something, a la Dead Man Wonderland.
Oh, okay.
Good Luck Girl, which is a show.
Oh, that one. It
yeah.
parodies other anime. Yeah, it looks pretty sight.
A movie called The Garden of Words, which I don't know anything about, but everyone I've ever talked to about it says that it's one of the prettiest anime movies they've ever seen, and that everything in it looks almost real. Not CG, real.
Oh, okay. Huh.
The rest of Oreshura, the rest of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. What else?
Well, while you're looking through that, I'm going to definitely hit the movies for Madoka Magica. I'm probably going to get those for you, though. I'm going to hit up Mayu Yusha.
Yusha.
Yep.
Don't. It's trash. After 4 or 5 episodes, it becomes absolute trash.
Oh, I know it's trash, but I'm going to watch it anyway so I can get it off my plate.
No, not even fan service. It's just horribly written. It tries to be Spice and Wolf, but it fails because the writers. This was written on committee by people on fucking 2chan, a Japanese version, I think, of 4chan. So they dropped every plot element they ever had because they legitimately forgot they existed.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so I'm going to watch that as just fodder. Mayo Chiki, hell yeah, checking that out. Mirai Nikki, eventually. True Love Ru, check it out with my bro Josh. What else is in here?
Did they have a dub of that?
What, Mayo Chiki?
No.
True Love Ru?
Yeah.
Nah, True Love Ru's been out since like 2007, so I implore Josh to get in subs on DVD because I know they are never going to dub that.
The first season wasn't terribly bad. The second season, Darkness, is all hentai.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Hence why it's so popular.
That is exactly why. That's probably why it got into J-Stars.
Yeah. Persona 3, the movie, whatever that comes out.
There's 3 of them.
See. Oh, hey, I forgot there's some OVAs for school days. I don't know if I can check that out.
Go for it.
I've
Torture yourself
suffered
some
through.
more.
I've suffered through 13 episodes of that. Why not OVA too?
Torture yourself some more, why don't you?
Yeah, might as well. Ugh. You know, there are only two shows I'm extremely apprehensive about watching. That's Queensblade and Senran Kagura.
Don't. They're the same thing.
Okay, I thought so. Steins Gate. Holy crap, I'm gonna get on that eventually.
Yes. Steins
That's
Gate is
still-
excellent.
That's still on, not like immediate on my list, but that's up there.
It damn well should be.
Let's see, Strike Witches Season 2, TQ, that actually looks pretty cool. Big O. What else? And it kind of just rides out from there. Captain Harlock. Vivid Dread Operation, whatever the hell that is.
No. God, no.
Xenosaga, the animation.
No. No Vivid Dread. It's Strike Witches, but god-awfully worse. More
I
fan
know.
service, more terrible.
Yeah, I
God
don't
awful.
know what's on here.
It doesn't even do the Yuri aspects properly. When you fail to do something that basic, you fail at everything.
Basically, yeah. And I'm gonna, in terms of other stuff, I'm going to probably get back to Fairy Tail. Maybe.
You can probably skim that in the meantime. It's on Netflix. They have the first 50 episodes.
Oh shit, I should told you that then.
Though the current DVDs and Blu-rays are up to episode 80-something.
Yeah, true. Alright, well, that's all I got.
Alright.
So it's like 8 minutes of 4 where I am right now.
8 minutes till 2.
Yep.
Huh?
And we've been doing this for about 4 hours and 30 minutes. I'm going to cut out the first 10 minutes because that's us sticking around.
Do you want to ride this through to an even number, or do you want to just cut it short?
No, I'm going to bed.
I have to ask, how many parts are you going to edit this into? 2 or 3?
All one.
No, dude, don't. No one's going to sit through that. Edit it into 2 or 3.
Okay, I will.
Which, in hindsight, I think we probably should have put these things on a tier list or a rank. This was
I can
this.
sort it out. Don't worry, I can sort it out pretty well.
All right, well, we just spent almost 5 hours talking about all the anime we watched this year. Tune in sometime later this week where we do something similar, only it'll be a lot shorter because there won't be nearly as much shit to talk about.
Hopefully.
Now, that one I guarantee you is going to be under 3 hours. I guarantee you on that one.
Yay. Okay, bye.
Bye.